This is the story of the first Christmas, the night that Jesus Christ was born. We celebrate this to remember the hope and joy that this tiny baby brought to the world on that extraordinary night in Bethlehem so many years ago.
To prepare this world for this baby, God asked different men and women to prophesy or foretell that Jesus was coming. These people were called prophets. This is what they said. Behold, a virgin shall bring forth a son, that his name will mean God is with us. Out of Bethlehem, one will go forth to be the King of Israel. For unto us a child will be born, unto us a child shall be given, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Prince of Peace, and there shall be no end to his kingdom.
Now, when God was ready to give Jesus to the world, he chose a woman named Mary to be his mother. Mary lived in the little village of Nazareth and was engaged to be married to Joseph, a humble carpenter who lived nearby.
One day, God sent a messenger, the angel Gabriel, to appear before her. Gabriel said, Hail Mary, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Mary was at first frightened and confused by the greeting of the angel of God. But then Gabriel told her that God had chosen her to give birth to Jesus.
Not long after he had spoken to Mary, the angel of Gabriel appeared to Joseph and told him of God's plan. He said, Joseph, God has chosen you to be the father of his son, Jesus, and Mary will be his mother.
Now, at that time, the land was filled, they lived in, was ruled by the Romans. The chief ruler, a man named Caesar Augustus, wanted to tax everybody in the land to raise money for himself and the Romans. So he issued a decree that every man should return to his place of his birth.
And so Joseph and Mary left Nazareth to return to the small village of Bethlehem, about 90 miles away, where Joseph had been born. It was a difficult journey across the hot land, but after 6 long days and nights, they finally reached Bethlehem. By then, Mary was very tired and about to give birth.
But when they arrived, the city had already crowded with other people who had come back to register, and all of the inns were full. Finally, they found a stable that they could rest and keep warm.
The stable was for animals, for the donkeys, cows, and sheep that people had brought with them. But Mary and Joseph were grateful for any shelter they could get that night in the little town of Bethlehem.
That night, Mary gave birth. Jesus was born.
That same night, there were shepherds watching their flocks of sheep on the steep hills surrounding Bethlehem. The shepherds were poor men who spent their nights alone in the cold.
But that night, the night that Jesus was born, the angel Gabriel suddenly appeared above them in the sky.
The shepherds had never seen an angel, and they were frightened. But an angel of God soon informed them, saying, Fear not, good shepherds. Fear not, good shepherds. I have wonderful news. Today in the city of Bethlehem, a child was born. This child shall grow up to be our king. not just any king, but the King of all kings, the world's Savior. You shall find the baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger.
Then suddenly a whole host of multitude, a heavenly angels, appeared in the sky, and they announced the news of baby Jesus. Glory to the newborn, they exclaimed. It shall bring peace and goodwill to everyone.
The world about Jesus birth began to spread, and little by little the stable filled with men and women from near and far.
Meanwhile, in a land far to the east of Bethlehem, 3 wise men of great knowledge noticed an unusually bright star in the sky.
The 3 wise men journeyed for several weeks, faithfully following the star shining brightly in the sky until it stood over the little stable in Bethlehem where the holy infant lived.
When they saw the baby Jesus, the wise men fell on their knees in humble worship. They lay at the feet of baby Jesus the valuable treasure they had brought with which to honor him.
They gave him gifts of gold, sweet-smelling frankincense, and perfume myrrh, for they knew they had at last found their Savior, God's Son, who had come to bring peace on earth on that holy night.
And that is the story of the first Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. May the joy and love of baby Jesus bless you and give you peace now and forever.